Hello, we're going to go ahead and record a video about concerning how to use having as a keyword in SQL. I'm going to go run in varieties of SQL command in order to get to that understanding that we need to see. So let's start first of all by selecting. I'm going to go ahead and turn my selecting everything from the order detail table, and we'll see here, as you notice, we have order details, we have the number, we have order ID, we have the products ID, and we have the quantity. So if I wanted to change this based on the fact that I want to, first of all, let's go ahead and count how many of those recurred in the whole thing. In the whole table, I have 518. That's good. And now, if I took this out, and now if I wanted to go ahead and say order ID and products ID, product ID. So if I run the SQL here, it's going to give me the order ID and the products ID. Have you noticed here, if I say here order after order by order ID, of course it's going to sort that by the order ID. Notice I have order ID 1, 2, 3 of the same value, then 2, then 3, then they're all, and this is the number of the product ID that's associated with that order. So first of all, if I do count only one count here without using the grouping, if I use an aggregate, let's take the order from here. If I do the aggregate on one function, even I'm trying to the aggregate function count on one of the field names, even I have two of them, it's going to give me one value. Here we go, we're going to get 518, and this is possibly not meaningful value. So what are we going to do in order to get something meaningful? We're going to go ahead after this, say group by order ID. So if I run this, notice now it's going to group all the order IDs. Okay, I could go ahead and say 3 of those, but instead of saying products ID, let me go ahead and change this also as order ID. So I'm counting them and also I'm listing them. So I have a 3, 1, 0, 2, 4, 8, and I have 2, 1, 0, 2, 4, 8 for the order ID, and so forth. As you notice, some of them have actually 4, very few of them has 5. What about if I'm interested in having to show the order IDs that has 5 time greater than 4, let's say. So what we're going to do here, since I'm using here an aggregate function and I'm using the group by, which this is a prerequisite for using, I cannot use where. If I say here where order ID, okay, or I could say here where count order ID is greater than 4, if I run this, it's going to give me an error. Why? Because I cannot use where with the group by, okay, and that already utilized the count as an aggregate function. So instead of using where with this one here, then we have to use having, and I would rather do it like this inside each other, having this condition. And you will notice now by changing where with the aggregate, it's going to be just fantastic. Look, everything is going to be 5 because it's greater than 4. If I change this to greater than 3, of course we're going to get the 4 and the 5, as you notice. Okay, if I wanted to say here, having this between 2 and let's say 4, then we're going to get the 3 and the 4, between 3 and 4. You could expand that. So take a look at this very carefully and run it through the same exact order that I want in order to understand having the keyword here. You don't use where when we use it, because we are actually looking here for a grouping of number of order IDs. So if you use where one more time, if I change it to where, it's not going to work. Okay, it's going to give me an error. So because here it's a group by, we added the word having later to SQL, as you notice here. So hopefully this helped. If you find it to be helpful, no problem, we still have time to record additional video. Thank you very much.